Meet our mosquito. It's hungry, and it's had a rough night. Empty yard after empty yard. Then, in the distance, it spots something. 3 people, sitting outside, laughing. It circles closer, thrilled, and starts checking out its options. 1 person, 2 people, and then its eyes lock onto the 3rd. Target acquired. Same yard, same amount of exposed skin. And somehow, only one of them ends up covered in bites. Everyone else walks away untouched. About 20% of people consistently attract disproportionately more mosquito attention than everyone else. It's not bad luck, and the reason almost everyone reaches for first isn't actually the main explanation at all. Ask around, and you'll hear the same theory constantly. It's your blood type. Specifically that mosquitoes prefer type O blood. That claim traces back to a specific study conducted in 2004 by the Institute of Pest Control Technology. In a controlled setting, researchers found mosquitoes landed on people with type O blood nearly twice as often as those with type A. That's a real, genuine result. But here's what usually gets left out. It's one study in one controlled setting, and blood type isn't something a mosquito can even detect directly from a distance. Even researchers who cite the finding describe blood type as, at most, one minor factor among several much stronger ones. So if it's not primarily your blood type, what is it? Start with the very first thing that draws a mosquito toward you at all: carbon dioxide. Every time you exhale, you release a small plume of CO2 into the air. Mosquitoes detect it using a specialized sensory organ called the maxillary palp, and they can pick up that signal from up to 100 feet away. It's their long-range homing beacon. People who naturally exhale more CO2. Larger individuals, people breathing harder during exercise, people simply breathing more per minute. Send a stronger signal, farther, before a mosquito ever gets close enough to smell anything else about you at all. Once a mosquito gets closer, a second system takes over: smell. And the specific smell your skin produces depends heavily on the bacteria living on it. In 2011, researchers published a study in the journal PLOS One testing exactly this. Their finding, and it's a little counterintuitive, people with a higher total abundance of skin bacteria, but a lower diversity of species, were significantly more attractive to mosquitoes. In other words, it's not about being dirtier or cleaner. It's about which specific bacterial community happens to be living on your particular skin and what byproducts like lactic acid and ammonia that specific community produces as a result. Which raises an obvious question. Why does one person's skin bacteria produce a more attractive scent than someone else's in the first place? Part of the answer appears to be genetic. In 2015, researchers ran a study comparing mosquito attraction to the hand odors of identical twins versus fraternal, non-identical twins. Identical twins share nearly all of their DNA. Fraternal twins share roughly half, the same as any 2 siblings. The mosquitoes showed a strong, consistent preference. They were far more equally attracted to the paired odors of identical twins than to those of fraternal twins. That pattern strongly suggests your genes are shaping the specific chemical cocktail your skin produces, the same cocktail that either draws mosquitoes in or leaves them uninterested. You may have quite literally inherited your mosquito magnetism from a parent. There's one more system working alongside CO2 and scent: heat. Mosquitoes are built to seek out the warmth of a living, blood-filled body. Researchers studying this discovered something remarkable. Mosquitoes rely on a literal molecular thermostat, a heat-sensing structure built into their antennae. When scientists disabled that specific thermostat in lab mosquitoes, the insect's ability to detect and home in on warm bodies dropped significantly. Which means anything that raises your body temperature, exercise, even just running a slightly higher baseline metabolism can make you measurably easier for a mosquito to find, purely through heat alone. So here's the honest, complete picture. It was never really about blood type. It's a layered system. Carbon dioxide pulling mosquitoes in from a distance, skin bacteria producing a scent some people can't help emitting, genetics quietly shaping that scent from birth, and body heat sealing the final approach. 4 separate signals stacking on top of each other, mostly outside anyone's conscious control. If you're the one covered in bites at every backyard gathering, it's not because your blood is somehow tastier. It's because your entire body, the air you exhale, the bacteria on your skin, the genes you were born with, and the heat radiating off you is quietly broadcasting on exactly the frequencies a mosquito is built to detect. Your friend isn't lucky, you're just unusually easy to find.